back again with another review, and today we're going to talk about The Revenant from 2015. And this is another film that I have somewhere in my collection behind me in one of these boxes, but I don't feel like digging through all these boxes to try and find the film. Again, I do own it. I was able to watch it via streaming service, but yeah, The Revenant, I have to say right off the bat, this was a great film. The plot here, to get that out of the way, you have Leonardo DiCaprio in the film. He's a frontiersman who's on a fur trading expedition in the 1820s. And long story short, he sustains injuries from a grizzly attack, and when his fellow hunters abandon him, his character now must utilize his survival skills to find his way back. And that is the plot to the film here. The director here, he directed Babel, and he also directed Birdman, which I haven't seen. I've heard a lot about that movie. The cast here, you got Leonardo DiCaprio in the film, Tom Hardy, Will Poulter, Domhnall Gleeson. And, talking about the film itself, right off the bat, the cinematography is stunning in the film. The vast landscapes, the terrains of the film, again, it's all very stunning and it's beautiful. And the look of the film, I mean, you have the cinematography, but throughout the film you have a lot of like gray hues, and it really, the cinematography, it just really captures the stark beauty of the landscapes and the terrains, and the direction here is very beautiful, by Alejandro. I could try to pronounce his last name, but I'm going to get it wrong here. But again, this is the same guy that directed Birdman and Babel, which I haven't seen Babel. But again, the direction is very beautiful with the cinematography and the visuals throughout the film. It's a very raw film, and really, when you look at the plot and the story itself and the character, it's a revenge plot at its core, and it's a story of betrayal, and it explores human resilience and what Leonardo DiCaprio, his character, goes through, which I think it's based on a true story. I don't know how much of it is true. The character of Hugh Glass, again, that's what is said, but again, I don't know how much of the story is true. And DiCaprio, he gives a great performance here. I know he won the Oscar for this performance. I don't know if it's an Oscar-worthy performance, but I understand why. He gives a very raw and visceral performance. But again, I don't know if I would say it's Oscar-worthy. But he does a great job still. I mean, but Leonardo DiCaprio, he can't do no wrong. He's done a lot of great films in his career. Tom Hardy, he's kind of our villain here. Well, I mean, you can say he is the antagonist of the film, where he's with DiCaprio's group, and basically Tom Hardy kills his son and leaves DiCaprio out in the wilderness because of his attacks, the injuries. So he leaves DiCaprio behind with his son's dead body. And throughout the film, DiCaprio is going through all these, just trying to survive. And again, his performance is very, visceral, trying to survive the wilderness to try and find, Tom Hardy. Again, it's a revenge plot. But, Tom Hardy, I'm not the biggest fan of, but probably the Venom movies didn't help that. But I think gives a very equally compelling performance here. And Will Poulter, I think he's good here in the film. I haven't really seen him in a lot of stuff, but I think he gives a good performance here. And the pacing of the film, it's a 2.5 hour film. which can be a positive and a negative, depending on what you like. Like, this film for me really, it was an amazing experience. And, like, I really don't have any issues with the runtime. I can appreciate a film that is long, and maybe if you look at it, yeah, maybe you could have cut some stuff out, but I was invested in the story. I was invested in the main character and what he had to overcome, and his will to survive, being out in the wilderness. And I was just invested in everything. The cinematography, the overall, look of the film and how it was filmed, and the locations and the score, captivating score there throughout the movie. And yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of things here that I can complain about. I mean, to me, I think, and I know this is kind of bold of me saying this, but for me, this is like a modern classic. To me, this is like the definition of a modern classic. And if people out there don't like the movie, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. Every film is going to have, someone who likes it and someone who hates it, or just didn't work for them. And again, that is fine. But for me, and again, I really enjoyed just the whole entire film itself. I mean, from the acting, Leonardo DiCaprio, which if you think about it, going back and, thinking about this film, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue. It's all about, body language, and, and you can see the pain in his face, of his son being killed by Tom Hardy, and, trying to survive being attacked by a grizzly. And you throw in the landscapes and the snow, and, just trying to, find his way back. And it's a very compelling journey. And yeah, I mean, this is a great movie for me. I was very mesmerized by this movie. And out of 10, for me, this is a 10 out of 10 movie. I mean, yeah, I could see this being a favorite. And it's to me, again, a modern classic. And I know that's kind of a bold statement, but yeah, I have this film somewhere. I want to get it on Blu-ray, because I do know I have it on DVD. But if I can get it on Blu-ray, that would be even better. But yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. But that's it for my review of The Revenant. Thank you for watching, and take care.